In this daily drop, I'm going to take you through the setup that I'm using for the new videos I'm producing for Calibrite. So let's go. Okay, everybody, it is a new week and a new episode. And if I look a little sweaty and a little dirty, it's because I am. I just came in from mowing the lawn, weed whacking, strimming, whatever you want to call it. And here I am. And this is the set that I have been using. In fact, I spent all day yesterday shooting the production to camera parts of a series of videos that I'm doing for Calibrite. If you think that these charts or targets, as they call them, look familiar, then they are. If you have heard of the company X-Rite and have ever used any of their targets, they will look very, very similar. In fact, what happened was X-Rite made the decision to no longer manufacture under the X-Rite brand these targets or charts, whatever you want to call them. And so Calibrite is the company that is now doing that. Now, the process in terms of how they're manufactured and how they are made is exactly the same. So if you've been using these targets in the past, rest assured there's no difference in the formula and the process in terms of how they're manufactured. But from a branding standpoint, it's important to update the videos for the Calibrite brand. It's a little tricky there because you calibrate things, but it's Calibrite as the company. And this particular thing that I have in my hand here, which we see 3 of, is the Calibrite ColorChecker Passport Video 2. So it's an updated version of this portable multi-target tool here. And what's interesting about this one is, and you can see it here on my left, we've got 2 ColorChecker video targets. Obviously, one is for your whites, for your gray, that's a 40% IRE, and then a super black. It's a shiny one that you obviously have to rotate so that you just get a super black. And then there's this one here, which is the color target, and that has a lot of different chips or patches for different things like chromatic chips. We've got the skin tone ones here, we've got the grayscale, and then highlights and shadows. And so that's what the core focus is of the videos that I'm doing. It's how do you use these as a first step in production? And then when you get to post-production, how do you work with what you are capturing from these 2 ColorChecker video targets in applications like DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro? So if you've been following along in terms of, the Canon series that I'm going to be shooting when I get back, it's not dissimilar. The big differences are that I have behind me Manfrotto's panoramic background, and this is their graphite fabric. They have a lot of other ones, green, blue, they have other patterns that you can use, but I really like this one here. And then I changed, I didn't really change. There's a gray covering on this table right here, but this is a cork one that I originally got at Joann's. In fact, I think a long, long time ago, near the beginning of the Daily Drop, I did an episode about basically skinning your tables different ways for different videos. Other than that, same. I'm still using the Nanlite 300B2. That's burning at about 21%. Basically daylight balance across the boards. I've got the Nanlite PavoSlim 240C. That's this right here. I'm not doing anything with gobos on the background. I'm not doing any additional backlight. This is what I've got. And it's a 2-camera shoot, so you can see here, that would be the close-up. So that's the wide, and then when I'm going over things related to the target, what we're doing, or what I'm doing, is I'm doing isolated recordings here of the B camera, and everything is being shot in Canon Log 2 with Cinema Gamut, and then we're going to go ahead and take that footage and take it from there in post-production. So we have the most amount of information. So isolated recordings on the C400 with the 24-105. This camera right here that you're looking at, I'm trying to point in a way that makes sense, is the Canon EOS C80 with the 70-200. Both of those lenses are the L series hybrid lenses. So they're f2.8 all the way through, and they are rock stars. In fact, they have become sort of the basis of all of my shoots now in terms of 2-camera shoots. And that's basically it. There's not much else to this. Of course, the series gets into what this tool is, how to use it in production, and then it's going to be how do you use it in post-production with DaVinci Resolve and Premiere Pro. We'll be working on that for the next few weeks, and then I'll have to record in this same space the voiceover. So I will basically take the screenshots and work with the editor, and then we'll come up with essentially a script or at least an outline, and I'll take people through the process of what we're doing in those two applications. That's what I got. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.